18.4 FOMO. Fear of missing out embraces scarcity and kills gratitude. Brené Brown. Picture this. Your partner's all dressed up, smiling and heading out the door, looking like $1,000,000. You're in sweatpants, spoon deep in ice cream, watching reruns, and you're trying to decide whether the universe is personally mocking you. There's a special kind of quiet ache that hits when your partner is heading out the door for a date and you're not. It doesn't matter how secure you feel most days, or how much compersion you usually have, or how beautifully you two communicate. That hot little twist in the stomach, that whisper of, they're having fun without me, they're laughing without me, they're probably having better sex without me. That urge to suddenly, that just happened to swing by the bar that they're at, that's FOMO. One of the most universal paper cuts in open relating. It's sneaky, it's petty, and it's incredibly human. FOMO isn't logical. It's not even consistent. It tends to flare up in the weirdest moments, when the house feels too quiet, when you're lonely, when the evening light hits wrong, when your nervous system remembers something painful from childhood, or when you're simply tired and the world feels tilted. It's a natural response to feel left out, replaced, forgotten, even if none of that is actually happening. The classic FOMO moment. One of the most common expressions of FOMO is the urge to join in on a partner's date or their joy. The fantasy is that joining them will make you feel included, connected, reassured. But the reality? Joining a one-on-one date rarely creates intimacy. It creates pressure. Suddenly, instead of two people flirting, laughing, and finding their rhythm, there are three. Three people navigating eye contact and energy. Three people splitting the breadsticks. Three people trying not to make that moment weird. It can feel like being a toddler crashing a candlelit dinner, asking for chicken nuggets while the adults are trying to make eye contact over the risotto. Group dates can be beautiful when everyone wants that dynamic, but crashing the date because you felt left out almost always backfires. Fuck up, bait and switch. Brittany and Dan had been dating Izzy for a couple of months. They'd formed a comfortable mix of throuple dates and one-on-one time, and on paper, everything looked pretty healthy. But Britt started to feel the pull of FOMO. She couldn't tell whether she was jealous of Dan, jealous of Izzy, or simply afraid of being left behind. The feelings intensified, and rather than naming it or unpacking it, she acted. One night, unable to stand the discomfort anymore, she walked straight into Dan and Izzy's dinner date, smiling as if she'd been expected. She hadn't. The room froze. Dan was mortified. He knew he hadn't invited her. Izzy felt blindsided and misled because she thought he had. And Britt, hoping for closeness, found herself feeling like the unwanted guest at her own boyfriend's table. It wasn't connection she achieved, it was rupture. Reflecting on my own FOMO. Until recently, FOMO was a familiar companion to me. If my partner was connecting with someone else, especially sexually, I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to be included, invited, woven into the experience. I struggled with insecurities around that for years. My husband, however, prefers to keep his relationship separate from ours. Including me feels like pressure for him, not intimacy. He's much more heart-centered and slow-burning, slow-building. He takes his time creating trust and often has only one encounter with a partner over a long stretch. I am the opposite. I connect quickly, deeply, repeatedly. Learning this difference between us helped shift everything. When I stopped trying to join and started understanding what made him feel safe, it became easier to let him have his moment in the sun with someone new without trying to steal a bit of suntan for myself. Exercise. Trace the roots of your FOMO. FOMO is not random. It has roots, often tender ones. My friend Dean once said, "My FOMO really manifests from feeling rejected and undesired." And that hit me like a bell. So much of this panic around being left out is actually old fear rerouting itself through present-day relationships. If my partner is engaged and I'm not, the FOMO is pretty palpable. This sentiment resonates deeply. It emphasizes how my feelings of exclusion often stem from insecurities and fears of abandonment. To understand your own FOMO, ask yourself, where does this come from? A need to be the center of attention, a fear that your partner will leave if you aren't present, a childhood moment of not being picked, a past lover who abandoned you, a parent who made you feel like you needed to compete for connection? Has your current partner actually done anything untrustworthy? Or are you reacting from a story your nervous system had learned before you ever tried polyamory? Some fears protect you, Some simply want to be acknowledged, not obeyed. But there is also FOMO that can stem from our immature fears of not being picked for a kickball or to be the star of the school play. At its core, FOMO is often a mix of legitimate fear and old emotional residue. Some of it protects you, some of it simply asks to be seen, not acted on. And remember, your baggage is not something your partner should have to carry through TSA every time they leave the house. Joining a scene without being invited. At play parties, the rule is simple. If a scene is in motion and you weren't invited, you don't get to join. This applies to your primary relationship too. If your desire to be included stems from jealousy, fear, or an attempt to control the situation, it's time to pause and check yourself. Wanting to be part of your partner's joy is beautiful. Inserting yourself because you're afraid of what might happen without you is something else entirely. Navigating thruples, the challenge of shared dating. A lot of couples fantasize about forming a thruple, imagining it would solve jealousy, soothe FOMO, and create a perfect little closed loop of connection. The truth? A thruple can be amazing. A thruple can also be emotional parkour. In reality, crushes don't sync, libidos don't sync, communication styles don't sync, emotional needs don't sync. One partner might fall harder, faster, deeper, another might be unsure, the third might feel left out. Every laugh becomes a metric, every side glance becomes data, every sigh becomes evidence. Dean once said, in our thruple attempts, I was always the one investing most of the effort. Even then, the woman-to-woman bond was always stronger, and the sting of rejection was still real. Thruples require boundaries, not assumptions, and they require letting go of the fantasy that dating the same person means feeling the same things. Establishing boundaries. If you date as a unit, make sure everyone gets solo time, clarity, autonomy, communication that isn't triangulated. If one is forced to keep pace, there's space for the relationship to breathe. If no one is forced to keep pace. Otherwise, you're not building a relationship. You're running a three-legged race where someone inevitably face plants. Exercise. Get a hobby. Seriously, the antidote to the awkward three-legged insecurity race? It's simple. Have a life. Don't sit at home spiraling through imaginary catastrophes. Go out. Do something that belongs to you. Just you. Make plans. Watch your favorite trash TV. Call a friend. Go dancing. Create a ritual of your own. Your home shouldn't feel like punishment. It should feel like choice. And when the insecurity still creeps in, because it will, say gently, sometimes I feel left out. Can we build a way for me to feel connected even when I'm not there? 9 times out of 10, that's enough to create rituals of reassurance without ruining anyone's date night. My partners will meet that with care, not defensiveness. Takeaway: check in before you step in where you weren't invited. FOMO isn't a sign that you're doing polyamory wrong. It's a sign that you're human. With awareness and communication, you can transform it from a fear into an opportunity for personal growth. Name it. Hold it lightly. See the roots instead of reacting to the symptoms. And remember, it's not about being included in every moment. It's about trusting the moments you aren't in, cultivating trust, respect, and the connection in the moments that truly matter.